A very good afternoon to honorable attendees of today. First of all, a very big thank you, madam, and a very warm welcome on behalf of the management, teachers, non-teaching staff, and students of Hindustan College of Pharmacy. We thank you, madam, for taking your precious time here and coming and giving us this valuable talk. Thank you, madam. Respected principal, sir, dear faculty members, teaching fraternity of other pharmacy colleges, our colleagues from the hospital and the industrial front, I take this opportunity to welcome all of you to the scientific session that is hosted by the Institutional Innovation Council as that of today, 16th of March, 2021. The Innovation Council has been set on the recommendations of the MHRD, Government of India, and seeks to conduct seminars by calling on stage distinguished speakers from varied spheres of our profession. On this day, I take this opportunity to request our most respected principal, Professor Dr. Sujit K, to address the congregation. Principal, sir.
Good afternoon and
Hi.
warm welcome to one and all to this webinar on intellectual property rights and recent trends in pharmaceutical patent, hosted by the Institution Innovation Council of the Hindustan College of Pharmacy. We have with us today resource person for scientific session, Dr. Benny Ebbing, who is the founder and director of Avani Pharma Private Limited, Bangalore. On behalf of the management, faculty, and students of Hindustan College of Pharmacy, we extend a warm welcome and heartfelt thanks for sparing her valuable time for this scientific session. Ma'am, we welcome you. Also, I extend a warm welcome to all the respected dignitaries, faculty delegates, student delegates, and who are attending this webinar today. Institution Innovation Council Coordinator, Dr. Alex Martin sir, will further proceed with the session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Today, amongst us is a personality who has been serving as the director of Avani Pharmaceuticals for about a decade. Respected dignitaries, it is my privilege to introduce to you the honorable speaker for the day, Dr. Benny Baby, Director, Avani Pharmaceuticals, Bangalore. Dr. Benny Baby is a PhD holder in pharmaceutical sciences with a rich experience in research, industry, and administrative positions. She has to her credit an Indian patent on the in situ gels of metformin HCl. Author of 4 Indian pharmacy books, she has also penned 2 chapters of pharmacy in international books. Accredited with 37 publications in reputed Indian and international journals, she also has to her account, till date, 3 project grants as approved by the Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Bangalore. Serving as a research monitor, she has been catering to the scientific community as a reviewer in a number of reputed scientific journals, the RGUHS Journal and the Journal of Pharmacy and Research, just to mention a few. An aggressive and active fellow of the scientific community, Dr. Benny Baby has also been actively organizing various conferences and workshops at national and international level. Having a special place in her heart for pharmacy and its students, Dr. Benny has been encouraging students to carry out industrial visits and to be more exposed to the industry, along with carrying their academic pursuits forward. Currently, Dr. Benny holds the position of the director founder of Avani Pharmaceuticals, Bangalore, and has been serving the office since 2011. Respected attendees of today's scientific session, without delaying further, I take this opportunity to welcome the distinguished speaker of the day, Dr. Benny Baby, Director Founder, Avani Pharmaceuticals, Bangalore, to speak on the topic intellectual property rights and its recent trends in pharmaceutical patents. Madam, I invite you. Over to you, madam. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for the wonderful intro and warm welcome. I sincerely thank Dr. Sujit K, Principal of Hindustan College of Pharmacy, Kottayam, Dr. Alex Martin, and Mr. Arun T.S., faculty coordinators of Hindustan College, for the special invitation to me as a speaker. Also, I thank the organizers, staffs, and students to arrange this scientific session as a part of MHRD's Innovation Cell and Institution's Innovation Council. It's my great privilege to be as a speaker for Hindustan College of Pharmacy for the scientific session on the topic intellectual property rights and its recent trends in pharmaceutical patents. Let's move to the session. Intellectual property rights and its recent trends in pharmaceutical patents. So let me start up with a quote of Albert Einstein. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. It means that storing knowledge and learning the facts and formula is not enough, but the motive of life is to think beyond the imagination. Intellectual property rights. So it's a right given to a person over the creation of their minds. The rights may be for a particular period of time. So under the intellectual properties, patent, trademark, design protection, trade secret, copyright. Patent, it's a granting of a property right by an authority to an inventor. This grant provides the inventor exclusive rights to the patented process maybe, or design maybe, or invention of a designated period. Trademark. Trademark, it can be a design or symbol that identifies and distinguishes the source of goods of one party from those of others. Now you could see this McDonald's trademark. So this is what it is, a design, right? It's a symbol. And this is the slogan of McDonald's, I'm loving it. Now, design protection, it can be, it should be a registered design so that it protects the visual appearance of a product or item. And it gives an exclusive right for that appearance to the extent. If necessary, there should be a legal right to stop an unauthorized party from producing or using the designs. Trade secret. Trade secret means it comprises of formula. Okay, it comprises of formula. It may be the main active ingredient. The secret may be main active ingredient, or practices. The secrets may be, the trade secret may be practices or processes or designs. It can be, or patterns, or any compilation of information that have economic value. And as copyright, it is one of the intellectual property right which is automatically provided to the author or the creator of original work, which gives them the exclusive right to reproduce and distribute the copyrighted work. So these are the intellectual property rights. So let me move focus onto the patent. What is a patent? patent, it's a statutory regimen on the invention for a specific period of time. It claims or determines the scope and kind of rights. And these rights are territorial. And these patents are important. It provides the innovator an opportunity to commercially exploit the research without any competition. So let me focus into the objectives of the patent law. The main objective of the patent law is to provide a statutory right to the owner of the patent for a certain period of time. And it prevents the competitors using the same product or selling or working out his invention and exploiting it commercially. And also to stimulate new inventions of the commercial utility. And to disclose the invention and practice that invention and make it work, thus encourage scientific research and new technology. So to pass invention into the public domain after expiry of the fixed period of the monopoly. So monopoly, it's a market structure which is characterized by a single seller, especially selling a unique product at the market. So the patents, the benefits or the purpose of the patent is that it protects the invention. It may be a techno-legal document. It gives technical skills and legal knowledge. An execution of this technical details in a legal language. It should be done in a legal language. And it requires expert to draft specifications. Patent rights. A patent, it provides a legal basis for the commercial monopoly, and it gives an exclusive monopoly in relation to an innovative product or process. This patent rights is granted by the National Patent Office. So patent protection for the particular invention must be sought in each country individually. The Indian law of patents is enshrined in the Patents Act 1970, and it gives or it provides a legal protection for the invention, and these rights granted under the Act are operative in the whole of India. The rights of patent holder. So it prevents others from making, using, selling, offering for sale, importing. Now let's be more focused. Let's see what are the criteria required to have an idea about the patent. The foremost thing is the novelty. Second, inventive step, or it should be non-obviousness. And third is the industrial applicability. Novelty. Novelty is the first requirement of patentability. Whatever the idea you have got, it should not be disclosed before filing the patent. That's very important. When you have an idea, it should not be disclosed to the public. Strict confidentiality of the invention should be maintained to preserve the novelty. So disclosure of this invention before date of filing of the patent application may be one of the grounds for opposition or revocation of the patent. So novelty, the process to assess the novelty of the research is called as a novelty search or patentability search, which is done after formulating string of keywords and searching in various patent and research publication databases. So I would like to share a case study regarding the novelty. As I said that the novelty should be unique and should not be disclosed before filing the patent. Formanto v. Menmore, the year 1956, the invention was an improved nib for a ballpoint pen, which made continuous and uniform flow of ink. The patentists themselves had published a description of making ballpoint pens. They also made the invention available to the public before filing for a patent. These acts destroyed the novelty of the invention and prevented them from getting a patent. So the most important is that it should not be disclosed prior filing the patent. The second and foremost thing is the inventive step, or also known as the non-obviousness. Non-obviousness means the one which is not discoverable easily. That the invention should not be obvious to a person skilled in art. So inventive step It's a feature of an invention which involves technical advance, and when compared to the existing knowledge, and having economic significance, or it may be both, which makes the invention not obvious to persons skilled in the art. For example, a mere combination of shampoo and conditioner is obvious. It lacks inventive step. Third is the industrial application. If a product or process is both novel, sorry, industrial application. If a product or process is both novel and non-obvious but does not have any industrial application, it does not qualify for a patent. For example, the drug is capable of being made in the industry and the machine is capable of being used in the industry. An invention must possess utility for the grant of patent. No patent can be granted for an invention devoid of utility. Also, I would like to remember the quotes of Thomas Alva Edison here. Anything that won't sell, I don't want to invent. Its sale is proof of utility, and utility is success. Let us be more focused now. Where should we file for a patent? It's mainly for the branding. It impacts the revenue, and to build up an impressive resume. So here I would like to say some of the points as students are more here. The impressive resume. The patent demonstrates your excellence and depth of knowledge in the field, and also your contribution to the field. So in fact, you can say that if you have filed a patent and keeping in the resume is a better indicator for your ability than your degree. So to profit from your idea, you must sell the patent, or it can be licensed usage rights, or can be or market the product yourself. In fact, the primary benefit of a patent is the right to stop your competitors from selling the same product. So you can license your patent for others to use. So royalty can be obtained. It's a sort of business. Or sell your product into industry. Here the revenue may be higher than your expectations. Or it can be commercialized. So it's very important to build up yourself prior getting into the careers by patenting, by filing a patent, or something, attending conferences or attending the grants or doing good research works that will build up a good resume. And that's just the disclosure is easy. We can avoid the competitors. That's investment, venture capitals. So it gives assessment of idea and it avoids reinventing the wheel. Also, it saves money, time, energy, but also it gives better output. Now, art research. So patent, once when you think anything, any idea about it, immediately it's not possible to file for a patent. There are many requirements prior. So it can be something, when you got an idea, it should be something, there should be output for it. So ideas don't happen as such, it to be made. So by reading the research papers and also the products which are in the market, you will get an idea that what impact or what can be beneficial to the society. So a prior art search to be done. What to search? Identify the novel elements, existing the technical difficulty out of it, identifying the solution for it. The inventions are not patentable. All the inventions we cannot say that is patentable. There should be a legal framework or specific jurisdiction. So I said that prior prior starting or prior getting an idea, you should identify what is the novelty out of it. So these can be identified by searching in the search engines like of USPTO, United States Patent and Trademark Office, or eSpaceNet, or Google Patents, or World Intellectual Property Organization sites. If you could search your requirement, you will be able to identify whether already it has been patented or not. So search is the first aspect where it has been fulfilled. Now I would like to bring into a notice some of the aspects whether it can be patented or not. You might be familiar with this instrument. No, it's mainly filtering the impurities, and maybe from the river water or any type of the water. So it can be patented, right? So it is something innovation out of it. Tap water savers, sure, it's a custom flow aerator, it can be patented. And the life-saving dot is the most innovative, especially meant for the ladies, where there will be hello. It's a life-saving dot bindi, meant for the ladies, where the dose of iodine is not sufficient. So this bindi produces around 12% of daily dose of iodine which are to be obtained. So it's an innovative thing. So these type of things can be patented. May be familiar, Louis Braille. It is named after Louis Braille, a young blind child for the age of 12, invented to improve the way blind people read books at the time by following raised letters. He invented that raised letters. At the age of 20 in 1829, Braille has published his first book written with the Braille code. So these are the type of inventions which can be patented. Now, before filing for a patent, analysis of idea to be done. So whatever the idea you have procured, whether it is feasible, whether it can be patented, that analysis to be done, and further to be documented. So the documentation, it should be drafted in a legal language, legal or a technical language. So you can take help from patent attorneys. Once the documentation is okay, then it can be filed for patent. The patenting can be done in two ways, either provisional or as a complete application. So these provisional applications, it may be only up to 12 months. If any changes are to be done, it has to be done within the period of time. In meantime, even many may think that whether the same patent, whatever we patent in India, can be filed in foreign countries. Yes, it can be done. Even foreign filing can also be done. So these are the main aspects which we require before filing for a patent. So initial steps, I said that the analysis of idea, right? Now let us be more focused. Initial steps. How different or valuable is your technology? That you should measure the strength of the technology or patent. Distance from prior art. That's a novelty search. As I told that the novelty search can be searched through those engines, USPTO, Google Patents, and ability to sustain a litigation, that is invalidation or validation search. Then market analysis, whether the product is market ready, what should be the market size, whether any existing product price and USP, its technical feasibility. And always you don't think that once the idea is done, it can be commercialized. There should be a prototype. It's very important that prototype means a prior, a pilot project, or the prototype to be done, especially the proof of concept, all those covers under the prototype. Next is a clearance search to assess chances of IP infringement, bypass route, licensing options. finding the buyer, license assignment of patent, know-how or technology transfers, execution of agreement, under that jurisdiction and grant of rights, duration and termination, audit financially as well as technically, royalty, exclusivity, technical support and training. And always when we focus on the patent, we may miss out these forms. These are also intellectual property rights, trademark, copyright, domain name, know-how. This also can be patented. These are the offices which are in the India, Patent Office branch or Chennai, the states like Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Union Territories of Pondicherry and Lakshadweep covers under the branch. And these are the other offices which are in India. Filing for a patent. As I said that the documentation, patent search to be done, drafting and filing application, followed by filing in the foreign countries or foreign patents, valuation and commercial exploitation. So here comes the filing. Previously it was pre-filing requirements. And any infringements which are related to the patent that to be analyzed before or during the period of time. Frivolous invention or which claims anything obvious contrary to well-established natural laws, invention that is harmful to human, animal or plant life or health or to the environment, the mere discovery of a scientific principle or the formulation of an abstract theory or any discovery of any living things or non-living things substance occurring nature, and the mere discovery of new property or mere new use of a non-substance, admixture resulting only in the aggregation of the properties, these are avoided. Now, let me discuss something which are of non-patentable inventions. Non-patentable inventions like something rearrangement. If you could see this diagram, if you could see this picture, you'll be able to identify it's a chair. There is an additional attachment umbrella. So mere arrangements, an arrangement, rearrangement, or duplication of any devices which is functioning independently of one another in a known way, or like a method of agriculture, horticulture which is already existing and something rearrangement done on it. That's non-patentable. A computer program or which are of technical application to the industry or combination which is related to the hardware, mathematical method or business method or algorithms, and plants and animals in whole. These are existing which have been proved already, cannot be patented. Literary, dramatic, musical or artistic work, or any scheme or rule or method of performing mental act or method of playing game, a presentation of information, a topography of integrated circuits, traditional knowledge, these are non-patentable and which are related to the atomic energy inventions. Now, I would like to bring into notice a case of Novartis Glyburg. It's a brand. Imatinib mesylate. It's a brand of, it's an anti-cancer drug. This is used in the treatment of myeloid leukemia for the blood cancer. It is produced and marketed internationally by the Swiss pharmaceutical company Novartis, and also other Indian pharmaceutical companies like Cipla, Hepro, Natco, and Ranbaxy. So this Novartis sells this Glyburg, the brand name, of rupees 1,20,000 per patient per month in India, whereas generic versions of this drug are priced only about rupees 8,000 per patient per month in the Indian market. So in the year 1998, Novartis filed an application in the Chennai Patent Office for a patent on alpha crystal form of Glyburg. At that time, India did not yet grant patents on medicines, but in November 2003, the Novartis got an exclusive rights, marketing rights for the period of 5 years based on the temporary provision of the previous Indian Patent Act. So in the year 2005, India changed its patent law to become fully TRIPS compliant, and Novartis patent application on Glyburg came up for examination by the Indian Patent Office of Chennai. So this Cancer Patients Aid Association filed an opposition on behalf of cancer patients in the Chennai Patent Office. In January 2006, the Chennai Patent Office rejected Novartis' patent application. In the year 2006, Novartis filed two sets of cases in the Chennai High Court, one of it challenging the order of the Chennai Patent Office, which rejected the Glyvac patent application of Novartis, and also a pre-grant opposition by the Cancer Patients Aid Association. Novartis, in its petition, is claiming that the section is not in compliance with the TRIPS agreement, hence it should be declared unconstitutional. Thus, Supreme Court also rejected the patent. So we may think in mind that once we file for a patent, it is sanctioned or approved. It is not so. There will be a lot of oppositions. If it is able to cross the oppositions, that's what we call it as a pre-grant opposition, then there are chances of getting it approved. So this is an example which I want to say that about the pre-grant oppositions. Now let's see what are the processes which are involved in the filing till we get approval for the grant. So filing in India. Once the identify that it is of novel and non-obviousness and is of industrial applicability, you can file for the Indian patent. Once after filing, we can file it in the foreign countries too. It should be done within 12 months of time. And sometimes some of the people may file the patent as provisional. If it's a provisional patent, then whatever the changes to be done should be made within 12 months period of time. Now, once after filing for the particular patent, type of patents, it can be Indian patent or any foreign patents, that to be published. So the publication, it can be, it should be within 18 months period of time. Once it is published, there may be the chance of getting oppositions. As I mentioned in the previous example, opposition may happen. And it should be recovered. The oppositions, if it's able to recover, it should be done during the period of time. Further, there will be an examination from the patent office. And if they are satisfied, then the grant will be approved. And usually for the Indian patent, the term of every patent in India is 20 years from the date of filing. From the date of filing, which includes the patent application. Whether it is a provisional or complete specification, it takes, the term of every patent will be 20 years from the international filing date as per the PCT, Patent Cooperation Treaty. So this Patent Cooperation Treaty, PCT, it makes it possible to seek patent protection for an invention or in each of a large number of countries by filing an international patent application. So everyone may think in mind that how long the process will be to get an approval for a patent, how long the process may be. The process may take a period of 3 to 4 years. Normally, the process of grant for a patent involves a major ladder comprising its examination. And many may think that what may be the cost of patenting. The cost of patent filing, it depends. So even we can file on our own, but it requires experts, especially it is of a legal language. So we require experts to write in the legal and technical language. And even small mistakes can dramatically compromise the value of the patent. So always it's better to depend on a patent attorney. So that expertise comes at a cost. And even a simple patent can cost several $1,000s. Whatever maybe like it involves, the patent cost involves like filing for the application, it may be the publication fee. So the publication, I would like to say that once the patent is filed within the particular period of time, like of within 12 months or 18 months period of time, it will be published in the official patent office journal. So there, from there, you could see that there are chances of getting oppositions too, and publication fee will be charged. And again, if there is an examination for the patent application, there also will be charged. And the drafting fees, then other associated fees, these all covers under that. So approximately, you can say that it will be around 70,000 to 1 lakh to file a patent to the patent attorneys. So once the publication has been done in the official patent office journal, there is any opposition that has been rectified, and further there will be examination from the patent office, and further that will be granted if it is approved, and further that has been renewed. Again, there are chances of post-grant opposition. So this is the during the tenure of 20 years, anything can happen. It is not so that it is a permanent approval. Post opposition can also happen. So if you are able to recover out of it, then it is granted for the period of 20 years. And that's what I said, revocation. There are chances of suspending the grant which have been approved to, if you are not able to recover the post-grant oppositions. So always protecting own IP is important, but at the same time, it's equally important to take precaution not to infringe any third-party rights. Now, let me say about the recent trends in the pharmaceutical patents. You know, India has got a vast number of general medicines and ANDA. Its growth in R&D funding globally. India has a patent regime, World Trade Organization Agreement on TRIPS in 2005. As per the report by the Brand Equity Foundation says that Indian pharmaceutical industry accounts for 2.5% of the global pharmaceutical industry in value terms and 10% in volume terms. If you could see this, you'll be able to understand worldwide pharmaceutical patent filing trend. So if you could see India, it stands at the second position. It's around 23,800 patents have been filed during this period of time in the pharmaceutical sectors. The top 10 global patent applicants. These are the companies which are leading in the patent applications. The first is Novartis, which is of 16,723 patents, followed by L'Oreal, Pfizer, Hoffmann La Roche, AstraZeneca, Procter & Gamble, Genentech, Janssen Pharmaceutical, Colgate, Bristol Myers Squibb. So these are the patents filed and granted worldwide during the year 97 to 2050. So number of patents, many have been filed the patent, but the number of publications are more when compared to the number of patents which have been approved. That shows that it has been opposed and it has not been granted. Patent filing trends in India based on technology. You could see the technology, the pharmaceutical sectors comes the second. First is the computer technology, then next comes the pharmaceuticals. It's not so bad. So we can say that around 16.34% comes under the pharmaceutical sectors. Top 10 patent applicants India, CSIR Laboratories, Novartis, Hoffmann La Roche, Hindustan Unilever, AstraZeneca, Procter & Gamble, Ranbaxy, Bristol Myers, Wyeth, Colgate, Palmolive. So these are the companies we are leading of the patent applicants. Patents filed and published in India. Now, if you could see the Indian pharmaceutical sectors, the last 2 decades has revolutionized patenting and licensing. Drastic development in the sector has happened due to the high demand for generic drugs in developed countries, patent expiry, or biologicals. In 2015, the Indian pharmaceutical market was dominated by the generic drugs. You could see that 71% of generic drugs was dominated, followed by OTC, 19%, and patented drugs was 10%. So between 2006 and 19, a total of 68,342 patents were granted in India, of which 56,727 were from inventors outside in India and 12,615 from Indian inventors. So there has been a gradual decrease in the number of patents filed in the last 5 years. According to the WIPO Global Innovation Index, India ranked 81st among the 141 countries surveyed. Indian companies are among the world leaders in the production of generics and vaccines. So Indian Patent Act 1970, once after introduction of that, the process patent has developed. Thus, there was a boom in the production of generic drugs. Till date, India is the largest provider of generic drugs. And in the past decades, we can say that the pharma patenting regime in India has undergone a parabolic shift based on which can be classified into 3 phases. The phase 1 is during the period of 95 to 2005. The generic drugs prevailed in the market. R&D fund allocation has been decreased. Cheap generic drugs were supplied to Third World War and other developing countries. And in the phase 2, that's during the period of 2006 and 2010, product patents started developing. More R&D activities in India to encourage both domestic and multinational firms. Technology transfer has been developed among the nations. More patents have developed. More investments in R&D. Opening new areas of research like biotechnology, bioinformatics, biopharmaceuticals. And Indian companies started in licensing and out licensing to bring out novel molecules. Generic drugs continue to rule the domestic market, about 20% of global generic market. Evolution of biologicals and biosimilars. And in the phase 3, that is in the period of 11 to 15, there was increase in the number of pharma patents, thereby increase in the prices of critical drugs, especially anti-cancer drugs. And the regulation of drug price by compulsory licensing. Example, in 2012, Bayer's anti-cancer drug Nexavar to Natco Pharma to produce a generic version. It is not accessible to patients. And voluntary licensing in India pharma market. Like a voluntary license agreement was signed between 11 Indian generic drug products, Gilead Sciences, to bring blockbuster hepatitis C drug Sovaldi to Indian markets. And it curbs the growth of Indian generic companies, and India will no more be the pharmacy of the world. Again, a decrease in pharma patenting trend was seen towards the end of this phase. Issuing compulsory license could be one reason. And number of patents in pharma were granted in 2013 and 2015 was nil, which could be due to the less number of patent examiners, a rise in the number of patents filed. Also, it curbs the growth of Indian generic companies and India and the pharmacy of the world. Initially, the pharma industry was dominated by drugs for acute diseases too. With increasing urbanization and modern style of living, 50% of the expenditure is for the lifestyle diseases. WHO survey states that about 60% of the total mortality reported annually is due to lifestyle-related diseases, especially cardiovascular diseases, about 26%, diabetes 2%, respiratory diseases 13%, cancer 7%, and other lifestyle diseases around 12%. So patenting trends for 5 major lifestyle diseases, you could see here in the year 2015, more for the anti-cancer and the diabetic has reduced, and anti-inflammatory and anti-hypertensive drugs. Anti-cancer drugs, especially now the global market is around 140 billion USD in the year 2040, and global players like Roche, Novartis, Pfizer, and Indian players were Cipla Limited, Sun Pharma, and Dr. Reddy's. Later combination therapies for cancer has been developed. Maximum number of patents for anti-cancer was filed in 2014. Next, about the anti-diabetic drugs, the market is expected to reach 550 million USD by 2030, and the global spending on diabetes has increased to 57% during the period of time 2010 to 19. The sales of anti-diabetic drug top the Indian pharma market. Most prescribed combination is glimepiride and metformin, as the glycomet and gluconorm G. And the domestic market, MNC like Novo Nordisk, Eli Lilly, and GSK was dominating. And novel biologics in this arena has come. Many biopharmaceuticals are undergoing clinical trials. Example, a marine nutraceutical cadalmin aid from seaweeds, which has been patented, especially for the type 2 diabetes. And again, the large number of patents have come in the year 2013 to 14 about the anti-diabetic drugs. So, conclusion, the Indian pharmaceutical sector is large and has a potential for a global leader for low-priced, high-quality drugs. The new patent regulations had a strong impact on the drug industry in India. So there is a serious decline in the number of pharma patents recently after compulsory licensing for drugs was implemented in India, but this could be a temporary phase. So while regulations are meant for reducing the prices of essential drugs, there are investment-related issues when a patent is subjected to voluntary licensing. A potential shift in pharma patenting sector from acute to the lifestyle disease-based drugs, which is quite unusual and unreported so far. So focus on new drugs, and thus an increased investment in the R&D. Marine drugs and biosimilars are getting popular. Indian companies are interested in inventing new molecules and thus strengthen India's role as an innovation leader in the world of medicines and healthcare. Pharmaceutical intellectual property rights are essential for the continued innovation of new medicines, therefore exist in the interest of patents and society at large. Now, being a professional, pharmaceutical professionals, let's think that how to start. Training of faculty, students, it's an ongoing process. Like there are courses for this, for the patenting, for the intellectual property rights, an IP audit to find out innovations in your institute, documenting all innovations, analyze them if some of them are good to be filed as patents, copyright or design it could be, have stringent IP policy, set IP processes and IP cells in institutions. So I strongly recommend the institutions can go for the intellectual property cells in the respective institution that could be highly and inspirational to the students as well as the staffs. So they can, whatever the good research comes in their hand, that can be developed much more and can be patented. So what will happen after this? Once if you undergo all these criteria, what will happen? Quality of research will improve, branding of the institute, students are industry ready, placements will be better, will save money and time. For more information regarding intellectual property rights, the queries which you have in your mind, you can also visit these sites. It gives the complete information that about how to patent, what is duration, all the information the site gives. I would like to conclude with a quote of Albert Einstein. An intelligent fool can make things bigger and more complex. It takes a touch of genius and a lot of courage to move in the opposite direction. Thank you. Hello.
Thank you for the valuable scientific discussion, madam, that was initiated by you. The session herein is now open for discussion. Students, teachers, and academicians, they can ask their queries now to Madam. Alternatively, you can do one thing, you can post your questions in the chat box and Madam will be available to answer them. You can post your questions. If you are having any queries, you can post it to Madam. You can post your questions in the chat box and Madam will be available to answer them.
Also, they can email any queries related to it. If they want to think and ask more about it, they can mail. I think you're able to see the screen, right? My mail ID has been mentioned here.
Yes, 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 yes. So if there are queries, you can mail to Madam. Mail ID has been given, is being shared on the screen. Okay. For delivering the vote of thanks, I call upon Mrs. Ria Raju, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmaceutics, Hindustan College of Pharmacy. Madam, I request you to do the honors.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, all. I hope you all had a great insight on intellectual property rights and its recent trends in pharmaceutical patents. Now, I take this opportunity to express my immense pleasure and gratitude to our honorable speaker, Dr. Binnie Abraham, who had graced this occasion with her immense knowledge on the topic. Thank you, ma'am. It's our privilege to have you here this day. Thank you so much for your valuable presence and time.
Thank you.
I also express my sincere thanks to our respect Principal Dr. Sujit sir, the management, Hindustan College of Pharmacy, the faculty coordinators, and all of the faculties who have took their own part, their initiative to bring up this scientific session. Thank you all. Last but not least, I appreciate all those people who have joined the session today with great enthusiasm. I appreciate your effort, and Hindustan College of Pharmacy is looking forward for your great participation in future too. Thank you all once again. Have a great evening. Thank you.